Alaska's comic book news from Alaska's comic book shop with Amie Jo, Big Lou, Kevin D, and Shauna. Tune in every week for the latest news about comic books in Alaska's comic book shop. Whoa. Hey, hold on a second here.
Ignore what's going on.
Ignore what's going on here.
Nothing to see here. Technical malfunction.
Wow, why did it do that? Okay.
Oh my
Hold
gosh.
on a second,
we need a better roadie.
I know.
All right, who's getting fired over this?
I know, it's me. Hold on a second.
Hey, good evening, comic fans. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, so, yeah, we just screwed up the whole thing. Give me 1 sec.
Welcome for a sneak peek behind the curtain.
Yes. We'll minus that.
Oh,
Here
we go. Look at
that.
Yeah. I see. Still green, though. Still green.
Here we go.
Oh, phew.
Hey, John, wait, you know, when people have green screens, they tend to be hiding a mess. Just to let you know, we're not hiding a mess. It's actually cool stuff behind us. But I have the green screen up so that, like, if I wanted to go to our website or whatever.
So, now you let him in on the magic.
Yeah, it was absolute split screen fail. Yeah, and yeah, this is like a really bad episode of Oz. All right,
Mr. Wizard.
Yeah, so this is why I'm going to jump straight to thanking our sponsors real quick.
Who may not want to
associate themselves with us. So here's a quick quick shout out to our sponsors. Our sponsors, the Awakening Espresso, located next to us here in Wasilla, Alaska. EGS Comics Grading Services, our preferred grading service here at Alaska's comic book shop. And our awesome Patreon, who support us with their generosity through multiple tiers. They are able to keep our content flowing. And if you want to represent the shop with our latest swag, visit our swag shop located on our website. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, because we're hysterical. All right.
Yeah, follow us for some more fun shenanigans.
Yeah, man. We're not going to be fun if we're not screwing things up from time to time.
Well, I mean, it can't be. You don't want this high quality production, do you? You can get that in Hollywood.
So we're going to bring on our guest real quick. It's Tony Trombetta from EGS Comics Grading Services. And you guys have probably met him before if you've been on the channel. Make sure to hit those like buttons and those sub buttons there.
And
what's going on, Tony?
What's going on, Lou?
Hold on a second. Let me see if I can fix this.
See, we're still working with it. Yeah.
All right, Tony. I think we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
We're good. Oh,
God.
All right.
Oh, God.
Lou's gonna take a moment here, folks.
Jesus Christ.
This is better than Comedy Hour. I didn't know I was signing up for that.
Hey, so real quick. Oh, God, for real. I'm like the screwed up Wizard of Oz here, for real. But, hey, so what we plan on doing is we're going to do our top 10.
Oh.
And this is the top 10 of what was sold at the shop here. And we'd love to see your comments below so that we can see how your local shop did compared to ours. Because we know that the purchasing up here in Alaska is going to be sometimes a little different, if not drastically different than what's going on where you guys are at. And we'll get some feedback from Tony during this time. And, of course, we'll also have a little spot here where you can ask a grader.
That's right.
What better way to ask about grading than to have a professional grader on the show?
If you ever want to meet one of those guys that put those things in those plastic coffins, Tony's your man. He's one of them. So
that's what we're doing all night. We're pulling curtains down all night, man. That's what we're doing.
We're behind the scene.
Night.
Yeah. Hey, Lou, I'm thinking I might have to up my sponsorship a little bit here.
Yeah, for real.
You might need to hire some more crew here.
No kidding. I'm like the worst roadie ever.
We're like a second-rate show here.
Yeah, dude. Man.
This is like, you see this, 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning on PBS.
Yeah, no kidding. We've turned into, no kidding. I need a drink. We've turned into, what the hell is that channel where they sell the the jewelry and everything.
Oh, HBC or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, we're those guys.
Home Shopping Network.
Yeah. We are the Home Shopping
There we
Network.
The phones are ready. Call now.
Jesus, we need help. All right, so let's load up this top 20 here.
All right.
And, hey, that worked. Holy crap. So here's the deal with this. So this, once again, this is the top 10 books that were sold at our shop for this week.
Okay,
for
so this is this
NCBD.
week's recap.
This is this
Okay.
week. Now, one of the things I left out for last week when we were talking about the last week when we were talking about the top 20 for 2020.
Yep.
I didn't give up the base number. So that was based off of 28,000 books sold at the
Went through
shop
the store.
last year.
Not bad.
Just at our shop. So that's what that QVC.
Why is it
Amy
that your
for the
wife
win.
knows?
Yeah, I know.
As we do another episode of What the Hell Did Amie Buy?
All right, so we have. We are going to do an episode of What Did Amie Buy tonight. Actually.
oh, okay.
So, yeah, we do have that. So, all right. So let's start off with Walking Dead number 6. This was once again. This book is pretty successful. It's in our top 10, and people get an opportunity to own the original run of The Walking Dead. You couldn't touch this book for probably under $50 right now in the raw.
Oh, okay.
You know, because those first, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but like those first 20 issues are damn near unobtainable unless you're willing to put out.
Are you talking about the first run?
The
of
first
the, yeah,
run,
the first run. Yeah.
the first black and white run. So now you get
Yeah.
an opportunity to see the same artwork but in color, and you also get to see the. I want to say Kirkman has added a little bit of his director's cut info in there as well. Oh yeah, I think you might be right there. So let's move on to number 9.
All right. There were how many variants of this that were like I saw 9 or 10 or at least.
Oh,
and man,
boy.
some like what the one we had in the glass case. That was a one per
Yes.
store foil variant.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, Tony, if you see some of these coming through some down the pipe.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. That's really it's really moving here where I am.
Yeah.
It's a really big seller, especially all those different McFarlane covers.
Yeah, and that's the thing because what we put up here is just the standard cover, the McFarlane specific covers. Those, every single one of those had a different comic book being read by one of the characters. So, yeah, definitely I can see why this one went through pretty good. The story's pretty good too. The idea of what superheroes actually breaking out from the comics into the real world.
And it's
Yeah.
only a matter of time because they're already they've given hints of the DC side in there. There's a guy with an S, but there's all these other characters that are coming up in there that you're going to see, like an Invincible, for instance.
Yeah,
so-
there might be an image.
Anyway. All right, so
Hey,
Number
anybody know who
8.
that was, guy? Before you go back one, Lou, if you don't mind, if that because we're a second-rate show, we could go back if we do whatever we want. You know what that's the shadow of?
a Gundam.
Oh yeah, it only appears like one panel, but it's a Gundam. It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, I tell you what, guys, I envision a nice black and white label for that book.
Oh yeah, for
yeah,
coloring,
that's right.
that would be great. That would
be
make it
perfect.
stand out. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So number 8 was this cover D here. This was the this was a really good one here. A lot of people love this, and you can guess what the next one's going to be. But this is Death Metal number 7, cover D, and this one this is that super talk of the town because it's the first appearance or first cameo appearance of Yara. Mm-hmm. And there's going to be arguments about that, and I'm not here to argue with anybody about that. I just know that people started yanking this thing off the shelves as fast as they could, so they can speculate away as long as they come and pick up their books.
There you go. You
I don't
want
mind.
10 copies as long as you can pay for them.
as
I'll
long
get
as-
them.
Yeah, if you want to order 10 copies
Order
and
10
not
copies.
leave them in your pull box.
That's a different topic altogether, right there, Lou.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Yeah.
Amy, you're right. I thought the same thing when I first saw this cover. It's like,
Yeah, he's
that
getting
does
caught up in
look
that
like a cheese grater.
But is it? I wonder if that was his. Holy cow! We're gonna call this the cheese
Cheese grater variant.
The
All right,
cheese
new
grater
variant, guys. New variant right here.
Oh my God!
believe if I'm not mistaken, Lou, that's the last one, right? It stops
That's
at
it.
number 8.
Well,
Right?
it's a yes.
Number 7, yeah.
Number 7. So number 7, the reason that it's important to read number 7 is because it explains future state.
It does.
Why future state and all this other stuff that's going to be happened
Yep.
because the I don't want to give the spoiler other than it has to do with the source wall now, because there's always been a source wall that has been able to explain why you get a launch like New 52, for instance, and none of the heroes can remember what went on.
Nope.
With exception of maybe one or two select heroes. Like I think Power Girl has always been able to retain the memory of past life and past events, but none of the other heroes.
I love your other subtle hints. You're throwing hands.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, the hand. For those of you who read it, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, come and get it.
So
All right.
number 7, Future State Harley Quinn number 1. So this one's really cool because the artwork for this is the same artist who does We Only Find Them When They're Dead.
Oh, is that the same person? Wow.
Yeah, so when you open up this book, it's the same artwork and it's fantastic. What I liked about this was you see Harley Quinn. The unrealistic thing is she has no superpowers, right? So
Nope.
when somebody gets kicked in the face or punched in the face, said face should be swollen up or
Yeah, there should be some
shut.
ramifications in there, right? Yeah.
And you see that in this issue.
Oh, good.
So you know,
I mean, they don't recover from a
Right.
refrigerator being dropped on them and just shake it off like it's nothing.
Exactly, and I like that. That was just my little takeaway from it. You know, you hit her in the face, she's gonna bruise up. But I also like that you see that psychotic side of her still, that she can still ignore pain.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's
She's
we know
nuts
some
enough to
crazy
care about.
people that can ignore pain. So. People have said that they've enjoyed this read. I enjoyed the artwork. I enjoyed what I saw in there so far. And there's a nod to some villains in there that are coming back. And once again, you have to see Death Metal 7 to understand why all of these guys are coming out.
I want to call that the Heartbreaker variant.
Yeah.
The heart up there.
It's really good, though. It's really good artwork.
What was that, Tony?
Yeah, I said I will say that Harley is definitely one of those covers that we see a lot here at EGS. Now, you know, various different covers and books of Harley, but I think because of the our pink label, you know, I mean, we get a lot of Harley. You know, people want the pink label and stuff with the Harley. So.
Oh, no doubt, Tony. Because in the stack on the racks, those pink labels would jump out. Absolutely.
Yeah, they do. Yep.
And I'm pretty sure the squad here can convince Amie to do a Harley Quinn cosplay.
Well, if she already did the Red Sonja, I think she could do the Harley Quinn. She'll have to dye her hair though.
Yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be rough. Well, yeah, there'll be a lot of talks about that one. But here we go.
Oh, what a surprise! Cover C.
And this is Art Germ. You know, Art Germ just puts his name on a turd and it's gonna sell. It really is.
Because for Art Germ, this actually looks really washed out to me. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion, right? But I think Art Germ has been known for making, you know, almost hyper realistic yet anime.
Yes.
You know, views. This just really looks washed out, like from you know, that kind of work that he's been known for in the past.
Yeah, Eric, I got to tell you, I just today I was at my local LCS and I seen the variant cover that he just did for Valkyrie.
Yeah,
Valkyrie that came out. Man, I will tell you what, that killed that cover. I mean, that looks like the old Art Germ.
it really, really does.
Yeah, I was really impressed with it. I was like, damn.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see those come through because for me personally, you know, although I don't typically go for the cover piece, I could see slabbing that and hanging up at the wall like a poster, like artwork. I mean, that one really had that Broomhilda. Really, I mean, he nailed it really well.
This one right here, this cover here, I could just see. I mean, Tony, I could literally, this would be a fire label. The pun was intended on that, but at the same time, I could just see. Oh God. And it's cardstock, so people should be able to score high grades.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, we still have 1 to 2 covers of those left at the shop that people can.
There you go.
Can pick their their perfect, near mint cover from. But
And that's the cool thing is like, going with you, Tony. It's like the fact that you guys have those customizable labels really does makes it stand out. Kind of makes the cover continue a little bit outside of its normal boundaries.
Well, it's the bonus to having quality grading that you also get.
EGS, sure.
Yeah, you have something that you can actually mount on the wall, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Number 5. There should be no surprise.
If Venom comes out, he makes the list.
Yeah. Well, as long as Donnie Cates is involved.
True.
Because this, once again, there's nothing really much to say about this. King in Black. It's there. The Nola's there. Thanos right now. And, I mean, anyone that can rip the Sentinel in half.
Somebody to be contended with for sure. I think this is the winding down too of at least the initial King in Black stuff with not Donnie Cates, but with I'm going to really embarrass myself here. I don't remember the name of the character. All right, guys, go ahead, chime in. You got me. The guy who's combined with Venom. Brock. Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock.
Recovered.
Jesus.
Oh my God, losing here. But yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be. I think at the end of this, there's a cliffhanger, obviously, with what's going to be continued with Eddie Brock. So
yes. So this is.
I see a lot of silver in this one. What about you, Tony? I mean, it kind of looks like almost liquid metal-ish to me when I look at this cover.
Yeah, and again, I'll say, with us doing the black label with black and white label, we do a lot of Venom. I mean, Venom, that's his colors. So, we do get a lot of his books, and a lot of people really like that black and white label to go with his books.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
I definitely see a little bit of silver in there. Yeah, that would probably work well.
I can see, black and white definitely will work with Venom. All right, not to belabor the point, but sorry, I can go on and on.
All right, let's see here. Boom.
Oh, is it boom? Is it like that? See, boom didn't work there, Lou. Come on, wizard.
There you go. I was like, don't break on me now. Oh, that's because I was on the keyboard. All right, so Future State Wonder Woman #1. This was actually a really great read. She's a badass.
Of course.
She's the Wonder Woman that we wanted, I think. She's a badass, and it gives you a little more interesting. She's kind of like she's definitely a hammer. You know what I mean? Like she's not. She jumps into fights really recklessly.
Okay, well, she's that's the warrior blood.
But it's the warrior blood. She's totally warrior. She makes mention in her background essentially that there's Zeus and their god for the actual Amazon in Brazil that influences her, and she.
Wait a minute, you saying Zeus got on with every person on the
planet? What I liked was she mentions their god as well and Zeus, and then she does this FU to the reader saying, "I've never met them, and I'm pretty confident you haven't either. So let's move on."
A little Deadpool.
Yeah. So which was really cool. That was really cool. Right there, she had me in the. I was like, okay, this is really good, and the artwork's great. It's only a 2-issue limited series. Yeah. I can see this.
Well, this Future State stuff might be that relaunch that DC's trying. We all remember the Final Crises and Crisis on Infinite Earths and all those times where they tried to reset and realign and organize their convoluted multiverse. And this might be a way, since right now they're not having to depend on past for Future State. They're really kind of opens them up. They can jump to storylines now that have no baggage from past.
I love it.
Yeah.
This particular one I love, and I agree. Swamp Thing was awesome, and yes, Zeus was a horny son of a bitch. But Swamp Thing is awesome too. And I like that it's all different timelines. Yeah. They don't all have to be at the same timeline. That's been fantastic.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. It'd be nice if they had these Future State characters, maybe just keep on going, but yet, you have the traditional you have the traditional Wonder Woman series going, and then you have a future state, kind of like Miles Morales and regular Spider-Man. You know, you have that option.
Well,
read,
if you read Death Metal 7, you'll see that actually is an option right now. I don't want to spoil it too much, but Death Metal 7 is such a key issue to explain that there's going to be all kinds of stuff that's allowed now, and that's how they'll explain it off. And I love that they've given themselves an out too. So if it's a horrible book, they can just say, okay, that happened, but we're not going to talk about it anymore, and it'll make sense, and you won't have everyone going, hey.
Well, Tony, I think you brought up a really good point. I mean, what was it, a couple episodes ago, we were talking and someone reminded us that, they're not writing for us anymore.
That's true. That wasn't Tony. That was
not Tony. It was
Matt.
And,
yeah.
The people who've been collecting comic books for 50, 60, 40 years, current writers and stuff, they are trying to get in some new blood, and right, and you don't want the entry to be blocked because a person doesn't know decades of history, of the comic book, right? So this future state has a really good chance to relaunch and recover new readers.
We want new readers. Yeah. It's like for the guys that are in the comments right now that. And man, we appreciate that you guys are all on right now.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
I want you to think about this for a sec. It's no different than a game, right? Like, World of Warcraft or one of these games. If you'll have like the old toxic gamer that hates the noobs, right? And then they realize later, oh wow, we just killed the entire game because we can't get new people to purchase the game and to get on. It's the same thing with comic books in many ways. If we're constantly alienating the new reader,
making the cost of entry too high, as it say, right?
So I think that there's, I like that they're still respecting the old readers with this, because I'm very satisfied with this book.
I'll tell you what, I really like the font they use for her name too. I mean, it's really weird. I don't typically talk about art very much, but the color of this, it's really kind of unique. It's calming. If I could go on anything else, it really is a very rather unique. Kind of gives me the feeling of water, and just it's awesome.
Yeah. So thanks, Wes. And then.
And then we go to this. We go from that calming, nice and relaxed feeling to, hey, here's death metal in your face.
But this is Finch, and this is actually, this whole thing was supposed to remind us what happens if Batman kills.
And he became. I like him.
Yeah, but it's like, I think that was the whole message throughout this whole thing was. This is why Batman, he knows his future, so this is why Batman has always refrained from killing. Because he could become that. And I mean, if you read through Death Metal how powerful he is, just by the one act, he killed one person, Joker, and turned into this.
Yep.
So, just something to think. I like that they showed these catastrophic world-ending consequences for one bad decision.
Just from a standpoint of the covers too, it's like I really like what's been happening lately with DC, and I think some of Marvel. And I'm sure Tony, you could probably chime in on this too. But I feel like 2020 was the first time I saw these minimum taglines on the covers. It used to be big splash for the titles, and now they've kind of pushed them to the corners so it doesn't. Take away a lot of that space on the cover. And I really think that's a pretty awesome move.
Yeah, it is. I totally agree. The minimum trade, I think they call it minimal trade dress or something like that.
I think that's right.
That's what they call them. And great idea. So, it's not really much of a difference between that and the virgins now, really.
And if the virgin is too much of an issue for some people, the minimum trade definitely accessible.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah, so let's see here. In the comments.
And somebody piped up about, hey, Star Wars High Republic in there? There we go.
Number 2 was Star Wars High Republic. Number 1, that was a top seller here at the shop. We had a handful of variants. They sold immediately. It just is what it is. They have been talking about this book for several months. With all the new first appearances in this book. This is way before the Skywalkers. I think we're talking
200 years.
200 years before Skywalkers and stuff. And I think it's just after, like, if you guys have played the SWTOR game, the Star Wars: The Old Republic.
SWTOR? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
SWTOR.
I think you're not talking about KOTOR.
No. SWTOR, which is after that. It's
What
after,
language is this?
Yeah. We're speaking gamer nerd language, man. But SWTOR, which is the MMO that they made.
Yeah.
And it's starting to die off. But that whole storyline in there with the Eternal Throne and all that other stuff that you're seeing in there, Revan. Mm-hmm. And this follows all of that.
From a business side, Tony, I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing a lot of Star Wars comics coming through. With the success of Mandalorian last year.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't had too many yet, but I think it's going to change here soon. And this, I tell you what, this one particularly here has got me curious, Lou. I mean, I'm just wondering how this is going to stand the test of time with, with these new appearances and stuff in this book. If it's going to, if it's just going to be one of those,
Well, there is concerns that this is all Kennedy's doing.
Oh, a Disney move?
Yeah, and we're hoping that that's not the case, that this is just genuine, like following the lead of The Mandalorian. Hey, let's introduce some new characters that people are going to love and get excited about, and not just
ride the Skywalker wave
nonsense.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you think about it, the original 9, right? We could all call them the original now, Skywalker saga. That pretty much, that was a snip in time, but there is so much to be mined from Star Wars. And I think right now Disney is trying to find what that is. And Mandalorian pointed a little bit of the way for them, that was a pandemic help, but still, it was a great story. I think I've seen some people talking about how the Mandalorian actually was like saved Star Wars,
right?
Because people were so kind of upset and divided by the movies, the last couple movies.
Well, it gave Mark Hamill awesome closure that he deserved.
Oh yeah.
You had a choice. You can watch The Mandalorian season finale, or you can watch him drinking blue milk that he just milked out of some space cow.
That was so wrong. That movie was like bad.
What a big smack in the face to Mark Hamill. No wonder he was grumpy the whole time. I'd be mad too. Hey, I helped start this franchise. What do you got for me? Okay, this scene,
cow.
We got this space cow that you're going to be drinking blue space milk out of.
Oh, yeah.
God.
I don't think we've seen the last of Mr. Skywalker, though. I don't think we've seen the last.
I'm feeling that.
No, and if you haven't seen season 2 or 3 or whatever, The Mandalorian, they just wrapped up.
Yeah,
the finish.
That's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Yeah. So here we go. Number 1 at the shop.
Man, what a surprise! I would never have guessed it. What, really? Never would have guessed death metal. Number 7.
This is one of the rare covers. Because let me tell you something. I'm starting to get tired of the variants that they're just making variants to be variants that don't match the content.
Yeah.
Right. And shame on us because like our best variant cover for the exclusive doesn't match the content.
No, it doesn't.
But
still,
so I'm talking out 2 sides of my face. The reason I say this is because this cover actually goes with the story. Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
I like the fact that the cover shows it shows transition.
Yes.
It shows the wrap up of the old universe with the hint to future state on the cover. I mean, it's pretty sweet.
I love that. Damn it. We're not going to do spoilers yet. We could talk about this at that time. I'll do it on the podcast because I don't want to spoil it. But this little scene here actually means a lot more because it's a lot of respect to her character and what outside observers think about her and her influence on the DC universe throughout all these different iterations of the story. From your Golden Age to Bronze Age, your New 52, the what the hell were we in now? It was New 52, and it was
Rebirth.
Rebirth.
Yep. Tony, look at that. Tony's on it.
Essentially, what the book gives a nod to is the fact that throughout all of those stories, Wonder Woman has remained
not changed very much.
No, she's remained true to her mission of being a hero and a warrior,
right. Bringing compassion.
Yeah. So that's a wrap up to that. So let's talk about
And even if I can't get it, if I can get it at Disney Park, I'm not gonna buy Blue Milk Mark.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, that's a nice Greg Capullo cover there too.
It really is nice looking, right? And I like it when the cover actually has meaning, you know, to the event on the inside.
Speaking of covers.
You're gonna go pick something? He's gonna pull something out.
No, this is the Amie.
Oh, what the hell did Amie buy?
What the hell did Amie buy? All right, here we go. And I'm sure once customers come by the shop and snatch this stuff up, this is all going to be heading to you at one point. So here's a preview to you. But so Amie went buck wild. I just want to make sure that I get this
up there in the far north.
Oh my god!
What else is she going to do up there?
Yeah, she went hella hard, man. Actually, this one, yeah, we can give ourselves a break on this. This will be for another show.
Yeah, we're so organized. You know how we had this all planned, right? See, we're on top of it. We got it scheduled, mapped out.
Oh my God, yeah. This, yeah. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Are you guys ready? All right, so
Amie,
I'll do a little zoom in on us. So this is what Amie bought this week.
Playing poker, apparently.
Actually, she won this playing poker.
That's what she said.
Jesus. All right, so this is the first one.
Oh, that's nice.
Weber Venom Funeral Pyre comes with certificate of authenticity. This is the this is Scorpion. So Scorpion cover there, really good. Once really again, nice. Amie going Super Saiyan on purchasing. This one Amie found. So for you guys that have lost your minds over the new ASM that's coming out with that
new costume.
Whatever, man. I'm the new costume. Well, Amie found this one. Do you guys remember this one? Comment below if you remember this.
But can, you know, people who have griped about Spider-Man and changing costumes, can we point this out too?
And that's the game one, the Velocity.
Yeah, exactly.
And that last one I showed you was ASM 656, and so that one is going to start blowing up, but I think it's blowing up for the wrong reason. I think that one's blown up for way the wrong reason. It's
my people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And here's another one here, that Wolverine.
Now, is this? It's funny. Hold that up there again, Lou. I have to point this out. It's funny that there's this idea that movie posters and comic books are rather male-oriented. Is this what happens when a male tries to strike the pose that they usually draw females in?
Yeah, equal opportunity. All right, so Amie got this one here, the Torment, the
#1 collector's issue series.
So this is all from her playing poker.
Man, I'm not gonna play poker against her then.
This one I don't know anything about, and I should have researched it, but I'm gonna leave this to you guys. Check this one out. This is a first print. And if anybody knows anything about this book, please comment below. This one's really cool. It's a cool cover, but I don't know. I don't even
know the publisher.
Tony, have you seen this book come through yet?
No.
Yeah, this is Black Mask is the publisher.
Never heard of them.
I think some big things are going to happen with that. We'll see. Oh, you guys.
The 100th issue is actually pretty impressive.
Lose your minds on this one. This one's really. This is Alex Ross Hotness.
Oh, yeah.
That Alex Ross Spawn.
That is amazing. And I love how he took the idea of the cape. The cape has always been like almost a defining characteristic of Spawn. Yeah. And he made it almost like it's a bed, like a pillow.
This one is a fire cover here, man.
It is.
And then I flipped this
over. Oh, yeah.
He talks about fire cover.
Perillo. Lucio, have you guys gone on Lucio Perillo's Instagram? It is like watching art porn. He pours the oils and sealers on that.
And you just stare at it. And
you're just like, what the? But this is Lucio Perillo. Anybody, when you get an Italian that's doing art.
Yeah, you'll have this. Oil.
This is awesome.
Everybody's oiled.
It's awesome, though. Conan, Red Sonja, that's fantastic, though.
So is that you on weekends, Lou?
Yeah, that's me and Amie on weekends, man. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen your workouts at the gym.
Yeah,
you
my
posted
workout-
that video.
Ooh, they're gonna love this one.
Yeah. That's
All
a good
right,
one.
so here's another one that you guys. Oh, I think you're gonna find this one amazing as well. Check this one out.
For
That Homelander cover.
For as little on that cover that there is, what really gets me, and I think it was intentional, the eyes.
Yeah.
The eyes of that character are just psychotic.
Yeah. Let me see. Can I? Yeah, I'm screwing this up. But you guys know. Okay, you guys know that cover. All right. That's true. Oh yeah. Oh, this one's signed, but it's not signed by who you think. This one's actually signed by who was this? Who signed?
Jason Sean.
Oh yeah, it was Jason
Alexander.
Sean Alexander signed this one here.
Oh, the green
That's
screen.
the green screen, making it awesome.
Making it really awesome. It looks like translucent, right?
Yeah, so we'll be sending this off to you.
Yeah.
Tony.
Hey, Tony, I just want you to know that this cover does not have holes in it. Okay, so don't downgrade it because it looks like it's got holes in it.
And here's our plug for EGS, of course, that if you guys have a book like this with a certificate, of course you send this to CGC. CGC is going to tell you, well, we didn't get paid to witness that, so that's just scribble on the book.
Yeah.
You send this, you don't even need the COA, although I'm
Helps.
sure it helps, but you send this off to Tony at EGS, and he'll be able to evaluate and confirm that it's legitimate or not.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and you have the option. You have the option of our standard label, or you can choose your own for a signature series as well.
oh
So,
yeah. Here is, oh yeah, we've had this before. This was that Deceased. Remember we were talking about the zombie stuff?
Yes.
And we talked about where Marvel tried to do a quick filler with Zombies Resurrection. It was
Resurrection.
horrible. That was a horrible book. DC did it right with Deceased. That was a really emotional book. That one scene where Alfred has to kill Batman. I mean, it's just crazy.
Well, I think DC did it right.
But here's one of the covers, Lucio Perillo again, and that's a really good cover there. This one comes with a COA as well. This is Scorpion Comics.
Hey, Mortal
I think-
Hulk.
Oh, yeah, this one's really good. This is another Perillo. Perillo, I haven't seen him do a Hulk before, so this is one here. This one you guys will love here. Check that out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
Does anybody else think Hulk's head is small?
Yeah, well, wasn't his head that small all the time? 'Cause
I don't know.
That's when steroids goes wrong.
It's like Bruce Banner's always got he's always like the egghead, right? So he's got the big head. So by in contrast, they make the Hulk really big with a small head.
So this one is signed by Chris Bocciolo, limited to 255 copies. It's Amazing Spider-Man 555, and it's signed.
If you guys remember the Brand New Day series.
Yeah, so this one's actually signed with a certificate there from our friends at Dynamic Forces that have screwed up as many things as they've actually done well.
Right.
They balanced themselves out. And then I believe this is the second print Negan
Yeah,
Lives.
the blue.
This was this one. Okay, man, we gotta take a moment here. Some of these variants are lazy as hell. Second print, and all they did was change the letter of the change
color of
the lettering.
Color of the lettering.
Like
yeah.
that's literally all they did. Although I think this one doesn't have the blood spatter like the regular cover, but still it's
Lazy.
Yeah, it's lazy.
Yeah, but you know what?
But you know what isn't
Speculators might
lazy? But you know what isn't lazy? Amie killed it on this
can't
one
believe- no
from
way.
Marat. This is Venomized My Little Ponies.
Oh
Because
boy.
you need that in your life.
Yeah.
You need that in life.
And
your
I know
life.
for a fact that you get a lot of Marat stuff at EGS.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
that guy should just camp at your spot and do a signing. I mean, you get all of his stuff.
Is this the sort of My Little Ponies that you'd want on your cartoons? Your kids to watch?
100%. I'd be all over this. You know what? Have you seen kids lately? They love this.
They love that stuff.
They would love this. Venomized and carnagized ponies. Oh,
Wait,
God.
the pictures aren't moving? I don't want to watch
Yeah.
it.
Oh my God, so well done.
Is this a metal?
This is a metal cover.
Who is that?
This is metal
White
cover.
Black Widow?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
Black Widow?
It's Tinian. It's White
It's-
Widow.
Yeah. Ooh, I
White
like
Widow,
that.
Tinian, metal cover.
That is
Clink, clink.
awesome.
These must be interesting to grade. You've had a bunch of these too. I've seen them on your website.
The metal covers.
Yeah, that's the puddin'. The puddin' variant.
Yes, the puddin' variant. Yes.
That is
Yeah,
nice.
This is the second time we've had this in the shop too.
Yeah, I've done one of those. Not the metal though, but I haven't done a metal one of that cover. But
Well, you'll be doing one soon. Yeah, the metal. I mean, good lord.
I mean, that's nice.
Well, yeah, because you could see the little baby Batman there and Joker. In the
I know
background. And it's a White Widow cover of all things, you know.
Jamie Tyndall. Yeah.
Tyndall.
Yep.
Yeah.
I said Tinian Tyndall. This one, I'll need your help with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me see here.
I didn't know I was going to have to practice my
Yeah, because this is interesting.
fan of white skills.
Yeah, well, just to hold these things up here. So,
Okay.
all right. So Amie went out of her way. Go ahead.
I have a suggestion, Eric.
Yeah, what's
I have
that?
a suggestion. I think what you should do is when you have these books like this that you're gonna, show and show off,
Uh-huh.
you might want to get a couple of those girls from the coffee shop. Come on and maybe just hold this kind of display.
We're working on that. We're working on that.
Hey, Tony, that's a great idea, but you saw how our show started out, right? I'm not
Oh,
sure.
what
I'm
a
not sure our
cluster.
production
Oh,
value
God.
could get that.
Yeah, we'll have to, like I said, work on that. We'll have to.
So Amie found these are connecting variants. Okay.
So somehow they all
Yeah, it's four
okay.
of them. So we'll have to figure this one out here.
live.
Oh yeah, the connecting set.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So this one.
That's got to go on that side.
Yep.
There you go. Those go together.
And then
You got
I
that?
think it's like this here.
See, live action right here, people, and they can't even see it, Lou. If you look at the camera,
Oh no.
you tilt your top end down.
But that is a
Oh, yeah.
connecting variant there. Yeah.
So you
then-
get one of those displays that has like a place to put 4 document holder or something like that. You can put that up on the wall.
And she got the
Another one.
regular and she got the virgin ones. So
Oh, wow.
those all formed together like Voltron to become an awesome cover.
By our powers combined.
No, that's Captain Planet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Good lord.
Wait, you know who Captain Planet
You're
is?
damn right.
Oh, why is that? What have you been
All
watching
the
in your
time.
childhood?
I use my kids to watch all the cartoons. All right. So Amie got this one for me, and this was pretty cool because I had commented about how I love how everyone's starting to copy our idea about covers here. So here we have the Frost Giant's daughter. That's the.
It really, I start seeing the bear show up a lot with
Yeah,
the red
polar bear,
Sonja.
yeah.
It's
Copycatters, man.
copycats.
And then you've got different variant there. Actually, I think the other one was the variant. This is the main cover. But then you've got the Virgin foil variant.
Oh yeah.
That's a beautiful
That's
one.
how you know you made it. That's how you know you made it, Lou. When people start copying you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's true.
that's true.
Oh, and this one's really cool too, where she's kind of like using the polar bear as a throne. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Yeah, I
That's
thought that was really cool too. And then this one here, I don't know the story.
This is I can tell you a little bit about this one, but very little. This was Scout Comics. They're looking to try to get into the younger adult market. So this is when they were still ongoing, I believe, but they were trying to make comic books for a younger audience. Is what Scout was doing here with this line. So it's called Scoot. Scoot is the name of the line, but it's produced by Scout Comics.
And this is Map Maker.
The Map Maker. So they were trying to hit the young adult market with this. And it's an ash can version, by the way, is what you have there.
Yeah, it even says right there, ash can. So we.
Don't take away my secrets. I was impressing people that I knew it without I can read.
Me smart.
He's smart.
All right. So, let's talk about. Let me show you something.
Don't you like how he's really good with the teasers? It's like, let's talk about. Hold on a second. Let me walk off screen. What do
so
you got?
first,
Is it a packaging thing?
Yeah, this is a packaging thing.
Okay, everybody, stand by. Packaging rant coming.
Now this is packaging, okay? But this is packaging from the industry leader, Diamond Comics. So Diamond Comics sends me this thing.
Is that the way it arrived?
Yeah, that's the way. Well, it was closed, but water damage, the whole nine, right?
Yeah.
So this ran probably to get up here. We'll call it conservatively $10. I think it was like $12, $14 potentially. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, well they must have sent us like some badass variants or something. No, I think here we have Jamie's books.
Are you calling out your customers?
Yeah, I love him though. But check this out. This is what was in there. That's it. That's what they sent me.
Wait, those aren't even in. Those weren't even in
They
bags.
didn't even put them in bags and boards, nothing. This is just how Diamond sends us books. I mean, just like that. That's what was in the box. I'm literally showing you what was in that box. That's it. So then you wonder why, between that and abandoned pull boxes, this is what's killing shops right now. Because we're paying, so just insider thing. So right now, because of COVID, we're having to pay for,
Jamie, that topic, that's gotta put that out there.
Oh yeah, I gotta put this up here. So I'll take that, Jamie. Jamie's actually one of Amie is like family here at the shop, so he could say whatever the hell he wants. But not you. You can't. No, I'm just kidding. He's for those of you that don't know the background with Erik and I. Erik was one of my first customers, and when I started trying to do pull lists and pull boxes, he was the one who would volunteer to show up to the shop, and we were here until like what? The first time was
like 1 in the morning.
1 in the morning.
Yeah.
Getting pull boxes out and processing the Diamond order.
And that was when you only had like 70, 100 pull boxes.
Yeah.
You know,
and now we're like at 125 pull boxes right now.
Hey, was that a cat? Tony, was that your...
You're so lucky Amie wasn't here right now. Amie would have said something foul. She would have said something foul. We would have been embarrassed. But
he wanted to be in the spotlight.
My God.
Of TV time.
Oh, there you go. Now he's famous. Now there's no living with him now, Tony. He's going to be demanding that high-end food.
So what's happening because of COVID in LA, for instance, what happens for Alaska, and the reason we started this channel was also to kind of share the Alaska adventure in terms of what it's like to have a comic book shop in Alaska and what it takes to have one up here. The shipping.
Tony,
okay.
we warned you. We warned you, Tony.
We warned you.
Yeah.
We warned you.
I kind of figured that was coming.
We warned you.
Damn, Amie.
So what ends up happening is our books, to get up here, we have to use a mail forwarder.
Yeah.
That's the only way to do it, because if you tried to use UPS, it would never get here on time, period. So what's happening now is, Olive Branch, Missouri, I believe it is, where Diamond's main warehouse is, they ship via UPS to all the shops in the lower 48. But for all of the people like us that are out CONUS, they ship them to what's called a mail forwarder.
Mail forwarder. Yeah.
Or a freight forwarder. So our freight forwarder's in Los Angeles. When it gets to the freight forwarder, we have to pay them an extra fee. Mm-hmm. They turn around and they load aircraft, in this case Alaska Airlines, which brings our order up to us. Unfortunately, because of the slump in travel, for obvious reasons, and the fewer number of flights, we have to pay a priority fee to Alaska Airlines to get those boxes on the aircraft to get them up here in time. Otherwise, they're pushed to low priority.
Yeah.
So we're paying way more money for shipping right now to get these books up here. So
to
that's why
to sell them for cover price.
To sell them for cover price, which is why we're begging people at the shop, when you get on online pull box and you look and you do your little Amazon midnight shopping spree.
Oh, this looks
We've had customers right now that, God bless them, but they end up picking 800 books.
I think Jamie's telling you that.
Yeah.
He's trying to.
So they buy 800 books. They order 800 books. I pay for 800 books. And then they see the price tag. They're like, yo, I'm not ready to pay for that right now. Can you wait a couple of months or what? Well, Diamond doesn't want to wait a couple of months. Diamond wants their money right now. So it puts us in a really difficult place. So now it's just trying to get people to be adults on the online pull box. And of course, now we have to be kind of we have to police it now so that we don't go bankrupt, and we have to reject people's orders and tell people, nah, I'm going to need you to come pick up the 500 books in your short box.
I'll get to him, Lou. Don't worry, I'll get to him. Man, you're going to have to be out me like that?
I did out you. You're good, man. But, we have guys back here that have literal full short box. We have one guy that has a long box full of books that we got to get him to pay for them.
He's just waiting. He's just waiting to send him to EGS.
Yeah. That's what he's doing.
So, hey, just to get a little bit. I'm not going to interrupt you just one moment here.
Yeah.
Since y'all listening while Lou's telling his bedtime story, yeah, I saw that, Jamie.
Oh yeah.
If you guys have any questions for graders or concerns about the process or anything else like that, now's the time to put it. Put it there in the comments for us, okay? Because we've got Tony on the line, and he's the go-to guy right now. And if you ever had questions like why is this or how is that, and what does it mean when there's a little tear? What does it mean when the staple is rusted? Why does that affect the value? These are the sort of questions you want to ask. Hey, go ahead and ask away, okay? All right, Lou, back to your bedtime story.
Real quick. Jamie, we're not talking about you because I am man enough to walk up to these guys already. They already know who they are because I told them to their face. So I promise you, JB, I would have told you already if it was you. So we really appreciate you. It's not that, it's the, I think what happens is you get excited, right? You get this excited delirium because you get on the previews catalog. You're like, oh my God, I've always wanted that book or this book or the other. Mm-hmm. And then before you know it, your order's $800.
Well, and also half the time, when you do the order of the pull box with previews, I mean, you know that is telling you, like right now, the latest copy of previews is for orders that are supposed to be projected to ship sometime March or later. So here I am in January, getting really excited about, I want to make sure I get this if I'm in the spec market. I want to get a copy of this before it goes away because this is going to be good. Trying to do the predict game, right? Well, now 4 months later, the bill comes due. It's like, oh. Well, okay. You were prepared back then.
Oh, yeah.
Times have changed, right? And you just got to be ready.
What's too much in the pull box is anything that you can't pay for. That's too much in the pull box. I think if you think about it, if I went to a grocery store and was like, hey, man, I'm going to need that gallon of milk, but I want you to set aside every gallon of milk that's inside the freezer, and I'm going to come back for it in a month. Or maybe 2 months when I feel like it, when I have the money to buy it. But I need you to hold that aside and don't sell it to anybody else. I want you to hold on to it for a while. And if it goes spoiled, I'm not going to want it.
Hey, Tony, that cup you just held, that looks like it has Harley Quinn coloring on it. Did I miss something? Oh, okay. It looked like it had the checkered patterns for a moment there.
That's Dunkin' Donuts coffee, baby.
Oh,
oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Ooh, that's what we need, donuts.
All right. Yeah, we've been thinking about that stuff, just have people pay up front, but it is what it is. So a good question from Mark Clayton.
Yeah.
How do you become a comic grader?
This is your ballpark, Tony, not us. So.
My wheelhouse, right?
That's right.
If you're interested in becoming a comic book grader, I would say, first of all, get yourself a Overstreet guide to grading comic books because that's a great place to start. If you study that book, you're really going to understand what the different defects are, what to look for, how they're categorized and everything. That's important. So the first step is to know what you're looking for before you look at them. That's a big key. You have to understand that there's, as you see my cat in the background, there is no official like schooling or anything like that. There is no degree, or there is no licensing or anything like that. You know, I don't even know if it's still around, but I mean, I took the, there was an online course that I took, but that was years ago. But I would say, because, we all, I'm sure, have different standards. I mean, I go by strictly the Overstreet because that's what I know. That's what my course was on. That's what I studied, and that's what we go by. So what CGC goes by, what CBCS goes by, I don't know. They have their own thing, but it all starts with the Overstreet guide, because that is where you get all your meat and potatoes of, how to look, what you're looking for in the book.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tony, that's a good call. I didn't mean to jump, but I remember the days of going to cons, and it was almost like the Overstreet guide was what you used. You were, the days of slabbing and some organized before those, I'm old. Okay. Mm-hmm. But, it was like, that was your thing. You would have like a well-worn copy of Overstreet going into the cons going, okay, quality. You'd be doing your own assessment. But it's nice now that there's actual companies that, like yours, that are, helping out doing that for the, industry. So. Right.
And another thing is, once you have that knowledge, then it's just, if you're going to be a grader for a company you're looking to do, that's what you want to do. As long as you have that knowledge, then they're gonna teach you how to look at a book. Okay. So once you know what you're looking for, the second thing is how to look for it. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's where you're going to get the training in whatever grading company that, you're going to go to. They would show you the techniques and how to go about doing all of that. Like I said, the course that I took showed me how to do it. But again, I don't know. I don't think that course is still around.
Right.
Like I said, you don't really need it. As long as you have your basic principles down, then you can go to work for somebody, and they're gonna say, "Hey, this is how we do things."
Right.
Right. And, you go from there, but they're gonna want you to at least have that basic knowledge of, hey, I know what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for, but I know what is what. I know what a spine stress line is, and corner creases, and all different kinds of different defects are. I know what the defects are. So now you just need to show me, how do I find them? What's the techniques, and what is your grading scale?
Right.
Because, like I said, the grading scale might be different, from them, as opposed to, I don't know if they go by the same grading scale that Overstreet does as far as deductions and stuff like that.
Right.
I don't know. They won't tell you.
Right. Of course not. They'll tell you if you pay them enough.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
oh yeah.
I don't even know about that. So I don't know.
It's interesting because, like, if I were, the Overstreet was always, it almost seemed like the defects are laid out pretty well in the Overstreet, but it's that, how do I go from a 6 to an 8 to a 9? That's when it really starts. You have to know what you're doing, because defects below the 9.6 range usually are fairly apparent, but jumping from a 6 to an 8, a 9, or even a perfect 10, that becomes really, you got to know what you're doing.
You're talking 9.6,
9.6, 9.8, 9.9s. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those are that's where the grader experience comes into play.
Well, I would say I now understand why the near mint status is a special status, because when you see how these books are shipped, to be, and I'm not,
no,
I
true.
beat that horse to death already, but just the fact that you're very fortunate to get a near mint book off of the racks at shops right now. Mm-hmm. So that's its own challenge in its own right. I could say a lot about some of the grading companies right now, and I'm really trying to show some restraint. But when I see So
Oh, here we go. Here's him restraining himself.
Yeah.
this thing, I haven't sent it back because I'm using it as an example. And I had a customer mention something to me which made me laugh, but I was like, all right, well, if you're down with that, and I'll explain what happened. So I've shown this before. This is a CGC slab 9.6. You'll see on the title, it says that this is supposed to be Batman, the Joker War #1. Unfortunately, that's not the cover because the book was encapsulated backwards.
It was put in backwards.
So I mentioned this. This really happened. And I actually like this customer a lot. But he was dead straight serious when he told me this. I vented and I showed him that. He's like, dude, that's a rare CGC error. That thing's worth way more now. And I was like,
The spec market's gone nuts after that.
well,
Yeah.
well, I'll sell it to you for $89.99 right now. Come get your CGC clusterfuck variant.
Limit your clusterfuck variant.
I got you covered
It's
right
one
now.
of a kind.
Yeah, it's a one in a kind. I call it the CGC dumbass variant. I went to work drunk variant. Come get it, $89.99. I'll even throw in the plastic bag with it. Come get it.
Yeah,
it's
lately,
just-
lately, error and rare are not the case at CGC lately.
It's
So,
unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
But I think what's happening too, this is just me saying it. I cannot speak for everyone else. From my law enforcement background, I tend to be an observer, right? Because you got to observe for evidence of a crime. And I look at CGC and I noticed that once you and CBCS started hitting the ground hard, started pulling a lot of customers, all of a sudden CGC started pushing their timelines with the pre-screen, the $25 the 25 book pre-screen. So this is what's bugging me about that, and and where I see where there's a line for some corrupt stuff going on there. I'm sending you CGC as a CGC. If you're CGC, I'm sending you 25 books, and I'm telling you I want pre-screen 9.8. If I don't get the 9.8, I'm only paying you $5 per book. We'll just throw that number out there. Now they're trying to compete, and they all of a sudden they're like, well, let's see. Do we want all 25 of these to be just $5 graded books, or do we want to? Just $5 pre-screens, or do we want to make our max money, and let's hand out a couple of 9.8s real quick. Let's hand out a couple of 9.6s real quick, so that we can get people to, number one, we'll make more money, and number two, more people will be sending their books to CGC because it's easier to get a near mint qualification or certification on their book. Well, the problem with that is that, I know it sounds like some unsupported theory by me. You're seeing channels all over YouTube right now. You're seeing it all over Instagram. You're seeing it all over Facebook, where guys are posting their books and they're like, dude, this is not a 9.8.
Sometimes you'll get, I saw someone pipe up in the comment change. It's like, you'll get the encapsulated book, but the corner which you sent was perfectly fine, but it comes back and it's encapsulated with a bent corner.
With a bent corner. They're like, well, our bad. Here's a 9.8 anyway. And now, right now, the market hasn't adjusted for that stuff.
It will.
eBay hasn't adjusted yet, but it will. Enough people are going to get fed up of seeing a hair on their cover inside the capsule, or they're going to see that spine bend in their book that's marked a 9.9.
Amie, you're killing me.
I agree 100% copy that they're devaluating the 9.8 is what they're doing.
And that's
And
crazy,
they're
because
doing
now
it so that more people will go to them.
Yeah.
Because EGS and CBCS grade too hard. No, they're grading accurately.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Yes.
And
There's a
that's,
difference.
in the end, that's, one of the things I like with you, Tony. It's like, that's what I'm paying my money for. I'm giving my money for an accurate assessment of my comic book. not an inflated assessment that changes the value. It's like basic economics 101, right? Devalue the currency.
Right.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, and yeah, CB, you're right, CB. So
I'm not sure familiar with that.
So I'm on their email.
So is Tony. What does he think about that?
Yeah, well, I've been getting an email. I'm on that email chain, and what's happening is they're sending out constantly solicitations for more graders right now.
Is that because of volume?
So what happens when your company grows to 100 graders? What type of dangers are you looking at there?
You just, it's really hard to keep that control. That really, you can only hope that you've trained them good enough at that point, right? I heard that, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard from some people that might know some people that they are on a quota as well, so you have to do so many books in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So they're looking for you to grade so many in a day. So, is that putting pressure on the graders also to say, hey, I got, so many I got to do today. Am I really going to, take the time and go through all of these the way I should because I have a quota to meet? So when you get big, that's what happens. You start running into these, those kind of problems to where you're just losing control over, really everything. I don't know, if they have managers or what in all these different departments that are, double and triple checking things, but I will say this, I'm a big proponent of, don't be so greedy with your money. I mean, hire more people, hire the staff, keep your quality up. Yeah, you might take a little hit in your profit, but come on, right?
Because these companies are based on a reputation of product.
Yeah.
And if your product quality goes down, so does your reputation. I mean, I'm with you. It's an investment up front. It sounds like that's what you're saying.
Well, my thing is, are the graders that are making mistakes like this, encapsulating a book backwards, are these the guys that were normally at Comic-Con? Are these, because they had a squad that would travel all the time, that was traveling from Comic-Con to Comic-Con.
Yeah, because you get it graded. You could get it graded and encapsulated
So
right there. The slab
I'm
right
wondering, how big is this team?
Yeah.
Is there truly a consistency in training, which the speculation is that there isn't? Anyway, I am very worried about the market right now. I'm worried that the market's going to flood with a lot of bad books for a while before things even out, and buyers rebel and say, I'm not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
Well, Lou, what does that mean, Lou? What is Jamie trying to tell us?
Yeah, Amy's all about that. Kitty.
Apparently, I'm getting the impression here, Tony, that the star
Jamie's
of
all
tonight's
about that
show
kitty.
is your cat.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's going on the show.
Yeah.
I believe that.
Well,
Yeah.
members in the community are already, saying they've started a band and they've named your cat as a member of the band. So.
Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah,
that's the grading side of it, and that matters for the market and stuff. But from the comic books, they're there for ideally, there's money to be made and everything. But again, comic books were there for entertainment purposes, and where your entertainment dollars go, there's going to be issues. Everyone complains about Disney, yet we still go to Disneyland.
Yeah, that's
true.
That's true.
And that's just how much are you willing to accept. And I think doing a little research, getting to know people like Tony that are starting up and have a reputation. It's really funny that I've noticed a lot in this last year and a half with your store and with you, Tony, and the conversations that it's a community. There's a lot now of cross support and stuff. And when you become too big, you kind of lose that. And you become just the customer is just now a number. Whereas I know I'll get quality from you, but I can't guarantee that I won't feel like I will get that from somebody else.
Yeah. You're right.
Oh my God.
It's it's a quality control issue. I really think that's what it is. And to me, how do you combat that? Is you have the number of employees that it takes to say, hey, look, I don't have to worry about, I have to do at least 50 books today. Otherwise, they're going to be on my rear end because I'm taking too much time. I'm not doing enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they had the people, you don't have that over your head, right? You can just do your job. Again, hopefully they trained you well enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, that has a lot to do with it. Now, I'm sure they probably have a different department for slabbing it into, sealing them in the cases and all of that. I'm sure graders don't get involved in that sort of thing. So I'm sure they have their different departments. So I'm sure they have a label department and a slab department and a shipping and all of that stuff. So, you're talking about multiple departments doing multiple things. And where's the quality control? Who's watching over these people? I mean, I know for a fact, there's been a lot of mislabeling lately. People just getting the wrong label on books. A Superman book is going on a Wonder Woman book and stuff.
That's crazy. And like you said, it goes. That comic book travels through different hands in the whole process. Yeah. It's not one person from cradle to grave, as I like to say. The grader doesn't evaluate the book and label the book and slab the book and package the book.
Yeah, so we don't want to blame the grader entirely either.
No.
And I get that. I think the biggest problem right now is a lot of people are they have high expectations of a company that they were the ones that set the standard initially, right?
And they've been challenged now.
And I think the other problem is now they're in a situation where the biggest complaint, I think they have been listening to the customers in terms of the biggest complaint that they've been receiving was that they took too long. They took way too long to get books back. So now they're overcompensating. And I think they're making some mistakes there. I think they just have to balance things out if they can, and I hope they do, because we don't want competition makes us better. I don't want my competitors to fail.
Absolutely.
I don't want them to fail. I want them to be successful to motivate me to be better.
Yeah, another thing, Lou, is there's a big misconception out there that I think people have. That they constantly want to say, well, since CGC was the first and they've been around since, 2000, that, their graders are better than their grade, CBS, PGC graders are better than CBCS graders, they're better than PGX graders, they're better than EGS graders. And that's a big fallacy.
Yeah.
How
many things really get better with age?
Yeah. Because the company's been around a long time doesn't mean that their graders are better than anybody else's.
Right.
So that's a big misconception, I think, that goes around to where maybe that's a little bit of a difference to say, well, why am I going to, use CGC? Besides the value is going to be, it's going to be worth the most. But, a lot of people think, well, they know what they're doing. Their graders are the best. They're, because they've been around so long that, their graders are just like on Mount Rushmore or something. But it's not the case. And I think more and more that's starting to show that, that isn't the case. Right. I know for a fact, I will say this, maybe when Steve Borak was with CGC, I think their grading was a lot better because he was in charge of it all, now since he's left and started CBCS, I think it's just been a gradual, decline as far as the actual grading goes, and I think I want to say he still oversees CBCS's grading. I think there's maybe 8 graders at CBCS, but he still looks, at books to kind of, make sure everything is on par. And, he supposedly teaches, each and every one of those graders. So, I mean, if he's teaching those graders how to grade, then, I mean, then they're good graders. I mean, so I don't know. Like I said, it's a big question mark because, again, we can't see what goes on there.
Of course not. Of course not.
You can't talk to a grader. You can't see a grader. You can't do anything. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Hopefully, I'm thinking about maybe starting my own YouTube, maybe down the road.
If you do, talk to Lou, because he's like, I think he did a crash course this whole year.
Yes. I will tell you this, that we rely on you graders so heavily because once you guys establish that grade of that book, I don't have to argue with a customer about the grade. And that puts a lot of relief on me. If you go to our website right now, we have a graded comic book section where people can purchase those books and they know, or at least they should be secure in what they're getting. So it does concern me if companies are starting to take shortcuts, because in the future, we're going to go back to the arguments again about whether it's a 9.8 or
and
something
everybody starts bringing their Overstreet guides, because I remember going to comic book stores and literally. People would come into comic book stores when I was younger, and they would have these books and like talking and haggling with the owner that, this book here, look at its ding, whatever, referencing the book. So it's nice having an industry so that the stores don't have to have that conversation anymore.
Yeah, you guys really make it easier for us right now. That's why, of course, I'm going to put a lot of criticism on guys when they slack in that industry, because the whole purpose for your industry, I mean, is to make it a trustworthy transaction between the sellers and the buyers.
Yeah.
Because when I dread selling raw books on the internet, because you're always going to be arguing with a potential buyer about that, your grade versus their grade,
or
whereas
what you ship and what they say they got.
Exactly. But once again, when it's slabbed and shipped out, they get what they get. In your case, what I love is that you have those grading notes.
Got a question specifically for you, Tony, just popped up. Pre-grading, is that something you guys plan down the road to look at? Or?
Yeah, you do pre-screening.
We do pre-screening. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That I know for a fact you do. Yeah. So
I was just helping out here. I'm just trying to help.
I
don't have much to do here except apparently get a cat suit. Apparently, I'm going to have to get a cat suit because Tony's cat has stolen this show.
No, that was an excellent question, because a lot of people don't know that EGS does pre-screening.
Yeah.
But EGS and CBCS don't have the 25 book minimum to do pre-screening, correct?
That's
the kicker.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Because CGC says you will submit 25 books before you can qualify for pre-screening.
Yeah, you will shell out the money before we'll look at your stuff.
Right.
So, like I said, that's what makes it. I wanted
up at the table.
Yeah, I gotta link that in here.
Go ahead.
What's great about what we do is it's the transparency, right?
Yeah.
The way we do things here, it's almost foolproof, right? So there's really no questions to be asked, because not only are you getting the grader's notes with the book, right? You also know how we're determining that grade, right? Because if you go out and buy an Overstreet guide to grading comic books, right? You buy one of those books, now you can cross-reference what you see on that certificate, and then you're like, oh, okay, that's why you got a so-and-so.
Yeah.
Where else are you going to do? Where else are you going to do that?
No, I love it. I mean, because it's in the hand of the customer. You've informed the customer, which is great. And oh my gosh, a customer actually having information that the company, your company is like, yes, this is how we work.
Yes, it's real easy. I mean, if you want to go out and invest in that book, then there's never going to be a question of, well, why? How did this happen? Right. Everybody else, you have no idea. I mean, yeah, they can give you grader's notes, but you're like, okay,
Would you use those as a guide? I mean, yeah. What was your guidance?
Right.
And
Exactly.
it shows when people start trusting the grading company. A big plus for you, like for instance, you've started to see a lot of those golden age. You just got an Amazing Fantasy in, didn't you? That you
I
graded.
did. I did. That was
Yeah.
quite a quite an honor to do something like that, especially for as young as we are. For somebody to entrust us with that was really something else. So it just goes to show you, that people are now starting to say, hey, these guys are legit.
Yeah.
You know, uh,
It's
you know,
validation. Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
that says something when somebody is willing to send you even in the I guess in the low grade that book's what 14, 15,000 maybe.
I don't know.
I know it's up there because
yeah.
in high grade it's 1.5 million right now, and like a 9.8 I think it is.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is awesome, man. We're happy
So
to see you at this level right now. You're just blowing up, but you're still staying consistent and trustworthy, and that's awesome. And that guy has grading notes, certified grading notes that he can pass on with that book when he decides to do so.
exactly, yes, and it's anything under a 10. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're oh, why? Well, a 9.9. What was holding it back from a 10? Right? I
Right.
mean, why should you be kept in the dark about that? So
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome. I'm going to be very curious to see your notes on that metal cover because I'm just as curious as anybody else. Because
hey,
I know it's going to be accurate.
those metal covers, Lou. I mean, I say those probably have one of the best chances to get a 10. I mean, those
Mm.
metal covers are really
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah. It's not packaged in normal bag either. They put that in that plastic,
The Mylar.
the Mylar. So
Well, I have it in the top loader
Yeah,
right
top
now.
loader.
But I saw that you got a 9.8 on that wraparound. It was the White Widow holographic cover that was a full wraparound.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I was having nightmares of shipping something like that. out because-
especially if it's like a lenticular one. Or,
because those covers, once they get a bend in them, that's it. We've tried to press them out. I called you. I called Reggie Collect. I was asking all you guys, hey, how can I press this thing out? And it was just a failed venture, man. We could not get that curve out of that thing.
Yeah, that's those. Once that starts curving up, because you can't give them a moisture bath.
No.
So, it's.
Oh, we're talking about the cover, not the character.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
He gets influenced by Amie.
That's right. It's all Amy's fault. Yeah, Amy's my downfall.
Oh man. Like I say, man, we're just trying to be as transparent as we can.
And you're doing a great job. It's from just the experiences I've seen. Giving the graders notes by far is awesome. I mean,
yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to one of these days. I want to start doing a YouTube, and then what I want to do is just kind of show people the process, right? I mean, so the history is, at least with us, is gone. I mean, I can walk you step by step and say, hey, look, this is a submission I just have from start to finish, and there you go. I mean,
I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry, the comment that just came up.
Hey, so Sean, what was your question?
Oh, like he's gonna pipe up.
No, he will. There's a delay, sadly.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Hey, Sean, as soon as you... here we go.
There it is.
Okay, so here's the question here from Sean. With how expensive a lot of books are, some people have the reusable slabs and such for protection of their raw books. What happens with those reusable slabs that really aren't cheap to buy?
Oh. What's a reusable slab?
Oh,
Yeah.
I see what he's saying. So the one thing that I can answer this one for you because I've seen it. For instance, if somebody submits a book to you in a reusable slab or a top loader, you mail all that stuff back to them, haven't you?
Yes. Yep. If it's regular bag and board, usually not.
No. You toss it, but the top loaders and stuff, I've seen you send that stuff back to me.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I've seen you send that stuff back. So if somebody were to send, so Sean, if you were to send a book like that to, for instance, EGS, and I believe CBCS, that I'm not 100% sure, but they will send that back in like a separate bag or whatever, along with your graded book. CGC, I don't believe does. I think they just toss them. They don't reuse them or anything. They just toss them. Because I've had people submit books in those hard reusable cases, the ones that have like they almost like bolt in, and I've shipped those off, and I believe you've sent those back. So yeah, you don't keep those because you can't use them either.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was talking about like if we crack open somebody else's
Snap
slab.
your fingers at me. I'm here.
Yeah.
Amie wants to see her puppy.
Oh my God! I'm right here, Amie. I'm right here. Hold on. I'm right here.
Get him. Get him.
Oh yeah, real tough dog. Yeah.
All right, Rudy. Top loaders are those hard plastic loaders that I have. Some of your books that you just purchased recently, like those 1 in 50s, they were all in top loaders. And we have a question from Rudy.
All right. Well, we're waiting for that to come up. Tony, I gotta jet out for something for a second. I just want to say, hey, it's been great talking to you. Always love having you on the show. And I want you to know, apparently, we're gonna have to come up with a comic book now starring your cat, because apparently the word chunky chunky is now your cat's name, as demanded by the community.
We'll get on that right away. We'll have to start getting somebody on that storyline.
There you go. We need to get an artist. We also need to get a writer and community. Go ahead. Let's start putting together an idea of this Chonky the Cat storyline.
Yeah, as we continue with the Ask a Grader feature on the show, we'll make sure that the
cat's gonna be there now.
Cat's got to be there now.
It's gonna be Tony and Chonky.
There we go.
All right, I gotta head out. So it's nice talking to all you guys. Hang in there. We'll see you guys next week.
Right.
I'll be back. Community, take care.
All right.
All right. So this is in a top loader. So for those of you that didn't know what a top loader is, and we have, I know we sell them here at the shop. They're usually, let's see here. Yeah, they're by BCW. They come in a 10-pack. So, but it's cool because it puts your book in the books that you're not sending to get graded. It'll put them in a nice hard plastic. So, for those of you that were asking about that,
we will also send back the COAs too. So if you're sending us a COA with your book, we do send those back with the book as well.
Yep.
So you'll have our COA and that COA for your book.
Oh yeah, the first time I remember I really appreciated that, man, that we received the COAs back, plus we got your certificate of the grading notes, and I think people are really feeling that. We just received a book recently that failed signature authentication. So I want to warn people that there's a lot of those fake Stan Lee signatures out there right now too, that we just had done up. And I was like, damn it, I was punching walls on that one, but it happens. It happened. Well, he signed so much stuff. I mean, his signature's everywhere. So people have to be careful with that. Yeah.
As he grew older, it changed too. So, there's that. I mean, it's not the way he signed 20, 30 years ago was a little different than, the last few years, of his life. It changed, so. But it's unfortunate that people want to do that. But that's
So,
why we do what we do.
so what's the future of EGS right now? How's 2021 looking? What are your guys' goals for 2021?
Our goal for 2021, hopefully we'll be able to go to a couple cons this year would be nice. For sure, if we get those back. Our cases, our new cases are in development. We'd like to get those this year sometime. If we could do that, I think that would be outstanding. So, we're really trying to get that done. But again, it's time and money, as they say.
Right.
We're hoping to have that this year. So we have our own manufactured cases to use. And really, it's just really keep doing the same thing, Lou. I mean, there's not really much more we could do except, keeping the standard up. Doing the best we can, every day. And the only other thing we can do is try to get out there a little bit more and get our name out there a little bit more. And the more that happens, the bigger we're going to get. And hopefully give these guys a good run for their money.
Now, we had a couple questions. The signature verification stuff, you do that. I know that for a fact. You do that.
Yeah.
Clearly, that's one of the biggest selling points for your services, that you do the unwitnessed, because you use a special software to verify the signatures. And once you verify it, it's a verified signature, which is awesome. And that's another reason why, with all the fake signatures that are out there, it's critical that people rely on people like you and CBCS to get these signature verifications, the unwitnessed ones in particular. And then Mark was asking if you plan on doing, if EGS in the future will be doing any signings. And I know that there's been some commentary behind the scenes on that, but is that something that's you're looking at in the future?
Absolutely. We're absolutely looking to do that. Everything to us, Lou, when we start wanting to get into stuff like signature, having, somebody come in and do coming in for a signature event or, whatever like that, having an artist come in and doing like what the other companies have been doing, that does take money. These guys don't do that for free.
Right.
So there is, that money involved. So we feel once we can get our cases in the fold, once we switch over to that, when that happens, there's so many other things that are going to open up from that. So of course, one of those things is going to be in-house signings. Will definitely be one of those. But we want to wait. We want to wait until our cases are done and out. So everybody will have the choice then we feel, once we have our case, then it's going to be maybe more accepted in the community. And then after that, once that happens, then we'll go ahead and start lining up some in-house signings and such like that. Because, once we get our new case, of course, we're going to offer like a recase. Like if you have one of our current case,
Right.
we're going to offer, to put it into our new case once we have it. So that's why we figured, we're going to wait till that comes out, and then once we have that, then we can go ahead and start expanding into that area of things. You know what I mean? So, but we definitely want to do it. We definitely want to do it, and are going to do it. It's just going to take a little bit of time. Yeah.
I think we're really excited about seeing that. Everyone's excited about growth. Hell, we're making preparations to move to a larger location here shortly. Looking like next month it's going to happen. And I think people are tired of the gloom and doom. People want to see some prosperity, and people want to see people fighting for every inch that they're getting,
Yeah.
And I think that's critical nowadays. I think people want to see that. They want to see positive stuff. Speaking of positive, I had a pretty negative rant. So this is let me show you some positive stuff here. Give me 1 second here. Let me bring this up. And 1 sec here. I'm going to be, hopefully this works. All right, you guys can see me here. Let me bring up this one scene here.
What's going on, Kevin? Man, another pull box, man. We got another one. They're killing us.
Brother, we just got to stay positive, man. It's 2021, a new start. Everyone is getting back on their feet. I think it's going to be a good year for us, man.
You think so?
Oh, I know so. Man, I hate seeing you bummed like this. You know what? Let's go get some ice cream.
You mean it?
Yeah, come on. Let's go get some ice cream.
With sprinkles?
No. Sprinkles are for winners. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, we tried to keep things on the up and up from time to time here. For real. For real.
Yeah.
Whatever, JB. Let's do a push-up contest. That's what macho men say to each other. Let's do a push-up contest, Jamie. Oh my God! It's so funny with the comic book shop. It is community. Like Jamie's actually extended family to us now. I mean, we treat him like we would any other family member in terms of how we communicate with one another and everything else. And it's like that throughout with the majority of our customers at the shop. And even our relationship with you and with all the other people in this industry, right, that we've met, it's turned into this extended family. Amie and I are joking around all the time where we've met so many new people because of this industry. The Spine Ticks, Lords of the Long Box, Three Men in the Basement, Pressable Defects, Comic Forge and his boys. It's awesome, man. It is. Sparks Comics. These guys are awesome people that we never would have met had we not gotten into this niche. All the people in the comments right now, Copy, 801, Rudy, Kid Clicks. I mean, we're really blessed to be in a situation like this where we can meet these people and joke around with them and everything else. So
Great community. It's a great community.
It's an awesome community. Even when it gets toxic, it's nowhere compared to the real world right now. I mean, people are pretty supportive of each other. I remember one time we were doing a show here, and this thing like completely crashed. And the first person to reach out to us was Very Gary's Comics, letting us know, hey man, that it happens. We've all had it happen,
Yep.
And that meant a lot from someone who's been running his channel for quite some time and seeing a lot of success. It was. I mean, he didn't need to say that. He could have been like, "Ha ha, that's what you get for trying to play the YouTube game." Trying to play with the big boys. And we don't get that. We get a lot of support. We get invited on people's shows, and that's how this thing works. I mean, you're one of the busiest graders in the nation right now, and you made time to come on the show to answer questions with our people. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, that's what it's all about, Luke. I mean, I believe, that a grading company needs to earn your business, right? I mean, what should be the most important is, I mean, I know money is a big factor to people, and I don't blame them, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, but I hope the market just corrects itself, because, a book's worth should be on the merit of the company that's doing the grading, right?
Right.
So if their customer service stinks, then it should reflect the value of the book. If their graders are not good, they're inconsistent, then they should be held accountable, right? I mean, then their books shouldn't be worth more than somebody else's. I think, if we could get to the point to where, people are using the service for the merit of the service instead of just, well, where can I get the most money, for my book? I think, I hope we get to that point someday, because it's sad that, my book is going to take a maybe 15% hit on the market just because it's my company, right? Now, I'll put my company up against anybody's as far as turnaround time, customer service, transparency, consistent grading. I mean, we're giving you all the options that a company can give you, but yet, those should be the important things, So why is our book not worth a CGC or a CBCS, right? But unfortunately, we don't control that. But hopefully, we can get to that point to where, this is going to really make a difference and it's going to matter, because I just think, that money factor is a big deal for people. And like I said, I mean, I don't blame them, but how many people are sick and tired of CGC, but yet they keep submitting to them, right? Why? Because of the money.
It's the money. It's the market. The market hasn't adjusted yet. The market will adjust. The market always adjusts. Always.
That's our goal, though, Lou. I mean, no matter how big we get, we always are going to be that company that's going to be transparent and tell you like it is and listen. I mean, if people have suggestions or something like that, I mean, we listen. And we'll make changes if we feel, if enough people are saying something, we're going to listen to them. So, hopefully, that'll all pay off in the long run. We're hoping. So, like I said, we're just starting our third year. We had a really good second year, and hopefully we add upon that this year. And like I said, we get moving on here, and we can give these guys a little run for their money. But we're not going to sacrifice things to get there. You know what I mean, Lou?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sacrifice customer service or transparency or anything like that to grow bigger. Or when I get to a certain point, I'm not going to say, okay, well, maybe I should hire another grader, but maybe some things will suffer, but I'll pocket the extra money.
Right.
Right. It's got to go. It's got to go into the business to keep that customer service and that consistency the way it needs to be. So,
right.
Hopefully we get there. Hopefully we both get there, man. We're really kind of we're new in this game, right? So, I mean, you guys are growing. I mean, tremendously as well. I mean, look where you've come. I mean, like you said, now you're on all these different channels, and that makes a big difference, man. It really does.
Yeah, I think it's the community allows for that. So
yeah,
we're very appreciative of people like you and the people that have accepted us. That's for sure. Because people have a lot better things to do tonight, but they tune in to this because they want to hear something other than the news and the negative. So. Speaking of which, I have to check myself too a lot because there's a lot of negative, but there's the positive outweigh the negative at the comic book shop. Comic book shops, had we not gotten into this adventure, we wouldn't have met the people we met, and we wouldn't seen the art and the skill set that is out here now. Man, we've got stuff that comes through this shop that you're just like blown away, and we had this young girl come in today, and I'm just like, wow, what went into this girl hits, 18, 20, 21, 22, 30. What type of artwork is she going to be putting out then, If they're just killing it now, and it's these guys that We have several veterans, that all of a sudden they're just putting out fire. This stuff has been in their head the whole time, and they finally have this outlet to get it out there. And we've hosted a couple of table sales here, and these guys. I got to watch a guy sell his first artwork here, and you see the look on their face when they do it. It's just awesome, man.
Yep.
That is just, God.
Yeah.
That makes it worth it. That makes it worth it. Those memories will make it worth it. The day that we do have to shut down one day, because we can't stay open forever, but one day we will have to shut down, and when we do, at least we'll have those memories, and those victories, those little victories, they're awesome.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, man. I mean, yes, everybody's in business to make money, Lou. I mean, let's be real. Right? I mean,
it's true.
But there's ways to go about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's important. Is how you go about it, because people can tell, right? People can tell if you're a corporate machine, right, or if you're a real homegrown company that's doing the things that these other big corporations don't.
Right.
So I mean that's what it's all about. That's why we are we make it so that if anybody has ever any questions, I mean they can. They can call the shop, they can email us, they can DM me on social media, and we get back to them. I mean, that's one of our big, our big mission statements is to always communicate. You have to keep that line of communication open with people. People don't want to, message you and they never hear back. Or they're talking to a call center looking, hey, they're looking for information on their book, and they get a call center, right?
Right.
So, that's one thing we always, is a mainstay. Is we like you to know that we have enough places, enough ways to contact us, and you're gonna get an answer within a certain time. So. That's really important.
Yeah, we've done the bar model here without the alcohol. Although if Amie has her way, we'll be serving liquor here soon too. But we definitely have the cheers mentality here at the shop. People that come into the shop, we go out of our way to learn their names. We know what books they like. We welcome them, and it's funny too. A lot of times it'll be the customers themselves that are welcoming the new customers that walk in. It's not the Android dungeon model anymore.
Yeah, well, maybe one of these days I'll actually get to do an interview or be on with Amie one of these years. It seems every time I one of these things, Amie is absent, so I don't know. I don't know what it is.
This next Saturday, Amie's going to be on because Amie's up on the slope right now, but she will be here next Saturday, and we're going to drag you on the show again as long as you're available.
Yep,
And
I will make the time.
And you're going to regret every minute of it, but it'll be awesome.
Okay. We could even talk poker.
Yes. Oh, dude, don't get her started.
Yeah.
Guys and gals, we really appreciate all of you, for tuning in for as long as you have. Make sure that you head over to Spine Ticks. Shame on me. We went a little long, and we got to give Spine Ticks their time now. But Spine Ticks, they're going to be on until like 4 a.m. So, so love those guys. If you want to get entertained now, head over to Spine Ticks. Tony, thank you very much. I'm going to put the link for EGS one more time in the comments here real quick. And we will, guys, we'll have giveaways again next week. And more entertaining content for you. Amie and I will record a podcast later this week. And then we will be live every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Alaska Standard Time. So we appreciate you guys here. And let me get this on here real quick. And that's EGS Comics Grading. Do you have anything you want to say to the crowd here before we
hey, no,
say farewell?
yeah, like it's been my pleasure to be on. And again, if you need to get a hold of us, there's plenty of ways to do that. We're always here to answer your questions, and it's been great. Thank you, Lou, for having me on tonight. And again, we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. Thank you. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Let's build up this community here on Aegis Comics so we can keep talking about how the hell we're trying to stay in business in Alaska. And, of course, supporting this man right here, EGS Comics Grading. Thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you. You guys take care.
Take care.